round. It's a Marvin Bagley question. Why does everyone want Marvin Bagley off the team when one of our big gets hurt? We're going to need him.
I think it's like a combination of he doesn't play defense in his contract, which, again, his contract isn't really terrible. I mean, it's less than 9% of the team's overall cap, I believe. I just think it was an experiment that showed some flashes, but it just hasn't worked out here in Detroit. You know, I mean, I don't think Marvin Bagley at his current stage contributes to winning basketball. Very talented player, very good, but just doesn't really contribute to winning basketball. And I just think people are over it right now for him in his time in Detroit.
So you think just the fan base as a whole is over it?
No, I think there's a lot of fans that still want him on the team. I do think, though, the people that want him off the team are pretty loud and they're pretty consistent with like what they post on social media. That's why you see it a lot. But I mean, I can live with him on the team. It doesn't affect me at all. I still think there's a chance for him to have a role on a team. And I do think that he could eventually contribute to winning basketball. He just hasn't yet. And those would be my reasons why I would want him off the team. But again, I don't want him off the team. But if there's a trade to make, yeah, we could ship him out.
Yes. See, I think he's got more of a role on this team than a lot of people think.
Okay.
And I can kind of get into that and why I believe that. I think when he came back from his injury, his second injury, he came out, he saw that the Pistons traded for James Wiseman, and guy was averaging 20 and 10. Like, there's talent there, there's motivation there. Like I said earlier in the podcast, there's going to be a lot of competition in training camp, and I think iron sharpens iron. And I think he's a guy that if you need a quick bucket, you need a center or a power forward to score for you, there's value in keeping him. I think the main reason why people want Marvin Bagley off the team is his defensive ability. It has nothing to do with him scoring the basketball. It's the defensive end where you're not getting a consistent effort on the defensive end, but he's very talented. I mean, you could argue, why doesn't he start? Because he's got an array of post moves. He's a really great low post center. And I've even seen him practice a lot of perimeter shots this summer with his trainer. And I think that's something that he's really focusing on this year's becoming a better three-point shooter. But I think there's value in keeping him. I just think sometimes fans just want a shiny new toy and they want to get rid of Bagley and they just want another maybe high lottery pick. I don't know what it is, but for me personally, I think there's value in keeping him. You've said it on this podcast over the years, 14-7 guy all day. And I think there's value in keeping that because if you got a 14-7 guy off your bench, I think you're doing okay.
Yeah, and I think, again, he's more valuable in less minutes because he can contribute offensively. He is a good rebounder. I think he's actually a better rebounder than James Wiseman. But unfortunately, night in to night out, he just doesn't always put it together. He doesn't play. I mean, he just doesn't play with the same effort night in and night out. And that's the thing that he really needs to figure that part out.
Yeah, I think in the beginning of the season, he didn't. But once they traded for Wiseman, I saw an aggressive, more hungry version of Bagley that he's probably like, okay, they just traded for another high lottery pick. Like, he's probably thinking, like, I got to get my shit together. Like,
you don't think the first thing that crossed through his mind was like, damn it, Spider-Man meme?
I made that joke, and a lot of Warriors fans said, no, they're not the same at all. You don't know basketball. I'm like, it was a joke, dude. Like, chill out.